football group.
I thought so. Let's do it. We're on?
We're on.
Okay, let's begin with the flag salute. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll text you and read that.
Randy. Thank you, Randy. Welcome everybody to the December 4th Marion County Commission meeting. We begin with an executive session to interview candidates for our administrator position. So at this point, I'd make a motion that we recess an executive session in order to interview candidates for county administrator pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. And that would be item 1, personnel matters, non-elected personnel, with the commission, interview committee, 2 candidates, and our consultant, John. And I'm going to say from 8:47 until 10:30. Second by Commissioner Becker. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried 3-0. We will be back at 10:30. Now, that's what the
We're
like
glad.
that is.
Oh, you had glands in this one too.
Guests in there.
The glands
All right, we're on?
Yep.
Okay, we are out of executive session, no decisions made, but we'd like to go in for another 30 minutes. So I move that we recess into executive session in order to discuss interviews with potential county administrator candidates pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Item 1, personnel matters, not elected personnel, with the commission, interview committee, and John, our consultant, for 30 minutes. So that'd be from 10:30 until 11 o'clock.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Dahlke. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried 4-0. We will be back at 11 o'clock. We're good? All right, we are out of executive session, no decisions made. At this point, we will recess until our regular meeting begins at 12:30. We're recessed. We do have sandwiches for those who would like the sandwich.
There it goes. Thank you. Yep, it's good.
I still miss this person speaking.
All right, I can make that happen.
That's all right.
Will now be recorded.
Thank you. We'll do the flag salute. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everybody to the December 4th Marion County Commission meeting. We begin with public forum. Anyone from the public wishing to make a comment? Anyone online? I don't see anyone.
No.
Okay, we'll move into administrative.
Okay, I asked, well, Chuck asked to be on
Okay.
for a quick administrative matter. and
Sure.
So since he's here,
Great.
if that's
Let's
okay,
do
I'll
that.
just let him do that.
Awesome.
So I spoke with Board of EMS. I need to be appointed program manager in order to offer continuing education
Okay.
to the staff.
Okay.
So I believe Tina has a paperwork to have you guys fill out. There's some.
Actually, it just takes an action of
An
the
action.
board, a motion and a vote
Okay.
to appoint Chuck as the program director or
Program
program
manager.
manager. And then I can send that letter into Board of
Very
EMS
good.
today. I have a draft letter ready to go.
Okay. I would move to appoint Chuck Kinney as the EMS program manager. Second by Commissioner Becker. Discussion? Not all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. Motion carried 4-0.
Thanks,
Very
sir.
quick.
What are you gonna do for continued education?
Teach.
Teach, okay, all right. Good enough, that's all and to everybody or to just all you?
Everybody.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Well, volunteer training at the end of the month.
Okay.
So
Good.
before you leave, if you don't mind.
Yep.
So we do have a matter of administrative business that was brought up last week, and it was talking about the rescue money wanting to be carried over.
Oh, yes.
And so I wanted to, since that's in your budget, I figured
Thank you.
maybe you may as well stay for that.
Thank you.
So we budget 26,000 a year typically for rescue funds. And I got an email from, while I was out of the office, from Matt Both, the fire chief at Gossel. They're wanting to go ahead and carry over the funds for this year into next year and utilize 2 years of funding in one budget year to be able to increase their purchasing power and potentially get a better deal on some equipment and have time to go to get bids. And so I think that's fine. I just wanted to bring it to the board, make sure that you didn't have any issues with it. And then also, since that's adding $26,000 of expenditure to next year's EMS budget that isn't in there now, although we have the cash that would carry over, if we get tight on the budget, we may just have to amend the budget by republishing it. So that's a possibility, but I wouldn't think that we would be that tight from your budget by the end of next year. So, does that make sense to?
Yeah, I was just wondering how you was gonna carry it without doing
An amendment?
No.
An encumbrance?
Encumbrance.
Because we're not approving to spend the money on anything. If we agreed to a purchase, that would be an encumbrance, but just carry the money over, it's not spending it.
Yeah.
They just wanna not spend it this year and make sure that they have it to spend next year.
Okay.
Okay, other questions?
No, I was just thinking that if they was gonna get it done the first month or
Right.
two, well,
Yeah.
we could do an encumbrance, but wouldn't have to do that, so that it's self-explanatory.
Yeah, they didn't give any kind of a
Okay.
timeline.
Good enough, thank you.
I'm gonna go ahead and ask for the motion on that. That would be a motion to carry over the 26,000 in emergency,
EMS for rescue funds.
rescue funds. Motions by Commissioner Dahlke, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second, Commissioner Crowfoot, call a discussion. Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried 4-0.
Okay.
Can we come up with another one for you, Chuck?
I'm here all day.
Actually, I'm gonna touch on one, sorry, I didn't intentionally do that, but, we did have a member of the public come in about, assists and the assist policy and charging. My understanding was, 4 years ago, there was a policy, after 4 calls, then there would be a charge, but that policy was
Abandoned
several years ago.
Yeah, I believe that was a mistake in communication with the crews. We had a fairly new member.
Okay.
I think he comes from a service that they do still do that.
Ah.
I think it was just a miscommunication.
Okay.
So we do not bill for any kind of lift assists at all.
Okay, good. I thought that'd be good. You clarify it here in person.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
No problem.
All right, thank you very much. This time we'll let you go.
Okay.
Thank you, Chuck.
Did I miss something, or did we set the agenda already?
No.
Oh, I am sorry, I have not. You're correct. Thank you for catching me. We did the public forum, and I moved right into administrative. Should ask for agenda approval. I believe there was a request to have an executive session on preliminary property acquisition.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Any other additions to the agenda?
Probably a short executive session to review an application for EMS director.
Okay. Any other changes to the agenda? Thank you for catching that. We will proceed with those 2 additions. Back to administrative.
Okay. In your packet, you have the minutes of November 27th and November 30th.
Okay, the commission has a chance to review the minutes. Any additions or corrections? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
A motion by Commissioner Crowfoot to approve November 27th and November 30th minutes. Second? Second by Commissioner Becker. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried 4-0.
We have a change order for the new tax roll.
Sworn.
Yep.
In your packet, we had some early checks. Total amount $6,865.34.
Okay, questions on early checks? If not, is there a motion to approve?
I'd make that motion.
Okay, Commissioner Dalkin made a motion to approve early checks in the amount of $6,865.34. Second, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Commissioner Crowfoot. Discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. Motion carried 4-0. I'm going to move Brad over here. So. Okay.
So, it's a busy week this week because we have KAC coming up the next 3 days. For some of you, the next 1 day for one of you. Also, our county Christmas party is Saturday, 6 o'clock at the community center here in Whitney, Marion. So it'll be a little bit different structure. We're gonna have more of like a dinner theater kind of event. So we'll still do some employee recognition and things like that, and then we'll have entertainment and a meal. So we'll have like a real general outline for you. It's not complete yet.
Did you get a lot of people signed up?
I believe we have 80, around 80.
Wow.
Good.
That's awesome.
That's good. That's down at the community building.
Yes.
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah. So we have, plus a few to-go meals up for dispatch and
Yeah.
like the emergency personnel that can't physically be there.
Excellent.
So just don't forget.
And while you was gone, your staff thought they was in trouble, and they took care of the problem, and they was relieved immediately, so.
Yes.
So anyway, I just thought they'd pass that on to me when they was.
Yeah, they had a little bit of
it.
a scare because
Yeah.
we had a caterer that had
Yeah.
to back out at the last minute, but they got it covered, and so I think we have everything ready to go.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they did a good job rolling with the punches on that.
Yep, yep.
Commissioner Crowfoot, you asked at the canvas about how many people vote on paper versus using the touchscreen. And for this last election, we had, not counting the provisionals or mail ballots, but we had 972 paper and 906 touchscreen. So it's about half and half. It was about half and half.
Interesting.
And so, we'll continue to track that because it would be good to add a few more of those touchscreen devices at some of the polling locations.
Did you ever do away with paper?
Pardon me?
Would you ever do away
No.
with paper?
I don't think so. I don't think Marion County voters would like that. They want to have a choice, and I would prefer, if I'm the clerk, I mean, it's up to the election officer, but I would keep it to where they have a choice. Everything that we do in Marion County is actually paper. It's just how you mark it, whether it's pre-printed and you mark it with a pen or you
Machine
use the
mark.
touchscreen. So, anyway. With the climate for elections and all that, it's nice for people to be able to do it however they want to and what makes them most comfortable.
Good.
Okay. I have an invoice from Vance Brothers for the microsurfacing, and I was just gonna hold on to that until we have Road and Bridge.
Oh,
Very good.
Because I did send it to them to review and make sure that they were satisfied with it, and so I will have you approve that
Very
right
good.
now.
there hasn't been no payments to them so far, right?
We did buy some materials.
Yeah, we did buy
But other
materials,
than
so
that,
you're
this
okay.
is I believe this is the
Okay.
first application for work
Okay.
for this current year project. And the KAC information, I gave you all, any of you that need it, the paper packet with the agenda and some other notes about the engagements that you're committed to, and then I'll also send that to you, so you have it electronically. Okay. I think that's, looks like all I have for administrative.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Tina. Steve, are we ready to visit with you about the contract?
Sure.
Thank you for joining us today.
Sir. Thank you. I got the, in front of you, got the contract for the next year for court security.
Mhm.
There's no changes to, as the previous year. That was provided to your county council
Yep.
about 2 weeks ago. Subject to questions.
Okay. On my behalf, I say I appreciate the security you brought. The presence is definitely visible and felt in the courthouse. Give the other commissioners a chance to comment or make questions.
I'm just tickled seeing here, and most of your officers keep a hand on what's coming up in our county and stuff like that, and I think that's very good, so if they sort of know what's happening, that's a good deal.
Any questions on the contract renewal? If not, is there a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Go ahead.
Make a motion to approve the contract for courthouse security with SD coming year.
Okay, we have a motion from Commissioner Becker. Is there a second?
I'll second it. Just wanted to see if he's still there.
Second by Commissioner Dalkey. Other questions or discussion? Not all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay. Motion carried 4-0.
Okay.
We'll get that.
We want to just go ahead and sign.
Yes.
We can do 2 copies, and then we each have them.
Okay.
I got one here if you just want to.
Yeah, that'd be great. You want to?
That way you don't have to copy it.
That'd be great, because these are from,
Did you put it?
we'll put that in there.
Oh.
Did you put the date on the front page?
I did not.
All right, yep, that's yours.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, thank you, Steve. We appreciate it.
All right. Have a good day.
We are running ahead again, which is scary. Counselor, would you have something for 10 minutes?
Other than our schedule for next week.
Yes. Calendar.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Yes, because it sounds like there is at least another meeting in place that morning. So we need to clarify.
Okay.
We're in that time of year where we're putting the penciling things in on the next calendar, so
Mhm.
trying to. This email.
high tech.
Wow. I know I might not stay up there. I'm
It
not
should be
sure.
on our digital board. Okay,
So next week is week of the 11th.
Right. So there's a health department committee meeting at 10.
Yes.
So Brad, you were talking about doing a work session that
Yeah,
morning.
just using the morning instead of the afternoon, so.
How about, could we do, your meetings usually last an hour? Could we maybe do 11 to 12 and then do another in the afternoon?
Possibly. The late afternoon is where I've got. the
You've got
issue.
conflict.
And the
And,
judge won't give up on.
okay. Oh, that's where we had the Park and Lake work session in
Well,
the
a number of
afternoon.
other things too, yeah.
We had it scheduled from 2 to 4.
Mhm.
That's where you have a conflict. We need
It's,
to move it up.
it leads into that, yeah, the first one. So but I kind of want to be able to do some of it.
The problem with changing alloy now is they've got 3 or 4 more different different parts of their plan, people that does different things,
Mhm.
all clued into the meeting.
Mhm.
I don't know if I can get them to change it or not.
Right, that's,
Yeah.
well, I would say leave them at 10, but I didn't know if it'd work to split yours into 2, do an hour in the morning and an hour in the afternoon.
Well, we could at least do the hour in the morning, and I'll see what I can do in terms of what the time frame will be in the afternoon. I can call the judge and find out what he's gonna allow us to do.
What time would you need to leave here?
I don't need to leave until noon.
Oh, okay, the afternoon is out.
Yeah, it's the afternoon.
Okay, completely
Just-
out.
Well, no, it starts at 1:15 with Judge Clenda,
Okay.
and he was refusing to
Okay.
move it. I just asked him to.
That's on the 18th.
The other thing is to move your work session to the 18th.
We can do that too. I just
Yeah.
want to get, I'd like to have, I was trying to have a couple of extras because there's a
What was
bunch of
the
stuff.
future meeting dates, Dave? It was on there.
Have it-
Morning of the 18th. Or even, we can do the afternoon again, whichever way you prefer to do it, at the end of the day or.
It's just the 11th is the one that doesn't
I
work.
don't think it was the 18th, I don't remember.
No, it's every 2-3 weeks.
Yeah. I think we should be good with that.
Do the 18th.
Yeah.
To morning or afternoon?
Let's leave it the
I was
afternoon.
looking at the morning.
Morning. Look in the morning, and I can maybe change
That'll
it.
work for it.
I have 2 at 9, but I bet I could move those. Why don't we do the morning of the 18th?
Okay.
So those are with Judge Ullman, I can get those moved in.
10 o'clock, 9 o'clock?
9 o'clock, just to give us plenty of time.
Okay. So we will have a work session the morning of December 18th, 9 o'clock to 11:30 maybe? On Park and Lake.
That's a work session, correct?
It is a work session.
There is
No
public comment.
decisions.
No public comment. Unless we ask for it.
Right. Isaac would be included, obviously.
Yeah. We'll text you.
Okay.
We should give us some time.
Would the commission like to do the executive session to review the application now while we're
So
waiting?
we could
for
probably do that in
resignation?
5 minutes, so. Yeah.
Okay.
I move that we recess an executive session in order to discuss application for EMS director pursuant to case A 75-4319B. Item 1, personal matters, non-elected personnel performance, with Commissioner Brad and Tina for 5 minutes, 12:53 to 12:58.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Galkey. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed nay. Motion carried 4-0. Back at 12:58, and I have my math right this time.
18th. I guess maybe take
This conference will now be recorded.
Keep us ahead with the speaker, didn't
Okay, we are out of executive session, no decisions made. Okay, we're ready for Steve?
Okay. You want me to go first, or you wanna go first?
I don't care, go ahead. I don't care. You don't have to worry about talking into the microphone anymore.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's gone.
It's gone. It's now.
Somebody stowed it?
It's up there.
Okay.
I can see it.
You did that?
I ran off.
You stowed it, huh? Well, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, it's good to see the sun out.
Reason why I wanted to talk today was give you guys a briefing of what's going on out there weather-wise and our road conditions. At this point in time, we've got over 50-some requests, call-ins. They're coming in by the hour. Just to let you know, I've been going ahead and looking and evaluating each individual concern or request, and I've been prioritizing. As far as the worst first gets it the most, so. I just ask that the general public just kind of be patient with us, and if you do call in, we will try our best to get things answered as soon as we can. A lot to consider, some of it's school routes, some of it's major thoroughfares that we're having trouble with. It's just everywhere, guys, so I just wanted to give you the heads up on that. I mean, it's the whole county, and that 12-inch snow and then the rain, and it just needs time to heal up a little bit, so.
Appreciate that.
Any questions or concerns on that? I mean, I would like to ask too, what would be, I realize that we're getting close to the end of the year as far as the budget and so forth like that. I would just like to know what would be the possibility about possibly hiring contractors to do some hauling for us, to help us get caught up a little bit faster.
I think there'd be support very much.
That was one of my questions,
Yeah.
whether you were considering any contract hauling.
As far as what I've seen out there so far, with the exception of a couple miles, I have not seen a full mile of road that totally went to pot, okay? It's always been kind of a spot here, a spot there. And
they? That's good.
for me to relay that to a contractor, sometimes they don't get it, they ended up dumping in the wrong places, so, I'm trying to leave those spots up to our guys. And we've got every available truck running right now at this time. So everything else, the roads, the gravel placement is more of a priority at this time versus anything else that we got going on. As far as contractors goes, I know, like, for instance, 290th and Diamond going north on Diamond is kind of a long stretch. They could help us out on that as far as contractors. 290th going to east of Lincolnville could help us out on that. So I just kind of want to see how you guys felt about it.
Randy?
I think if there's money there, I think we probably need to take a serious look at it and see how we can help.
Yeah.
I've got some other questions back to Steve, but
Right.
finish this.
Because as far as the contract hauling, if there's places you can use it, if there's money in the budget, do it. Is that consensus?
Yeah,
Yes.
as long as we got money in the budget, we're gonna have to take advantage of whatever weather we get, because
Right.
we don't know if the rest of winter's gonna be like this, it's gonna be miserable.
Maybe over with.
I also would like to let you know that first snowstorm that we got kind of really caught us off guard. I have been in contact with all the school bus directors and superintendents and so forth like that, and I've asked them for information of all their school bus routes, so our section man can go out there and hit those roads ASAP when it does snow, and there's no questions asked of where they need to go. So, and they're all cooperating with me on that as well.
I guess that's part of one of my questions, Steve, is we made the decision not to go out and remove any snow for county roads, or, well, I know I saw some, I didn't see them myself, but I saw the tracks snow had been removed off some blacktops I seen. but I didn't see, I wasn't out on the rock roads to see, so I don't know. I'm just getting reports.
I know with the exception of one section, we had problems locating the section man himself. In fact, he was out of town at the time, and we were unaware of that. But as far as I know, Tom could help you out with this answer, but I'm sure all the section men were out. They just couldn't quite get them all covered.
Okay.
And the thing about it is, we were running kind of like on the blind side. We didn't know what was a school route and what isn't, you know? So we were doing side roads that maybe weren't a school bus route. So
Okay.
that's why we're trying to be more efficient on that.
I
Does
think-
that answer your question? there?
Yeah, I just had a text Saturday morning.
We run all day Sunday.
You run all day Sunday,
We
okay.
tried a little bit Saturday evening
Okay.
with some of the.
Saturday evening wasn't
more-
no fun.
We made an attempt with the trucks, that didn't turn out so good.
Okay, yeah, because we saw some truck running down Indigo, yeah.
Okay, Sunday.
Saturday night or something, I believe it was Saturday night, we saw something.
Maybe, yeah, I did,
Was-
yeah, he did make Indigo on one night.
Yeah.
We had two stuck out here south of town and spent the night in the ditch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right,
But
that was on snow removal. That was, one of the guys sent a text to me, I believe this morning, or yesterday morning, about the snow removal. Must not been by their house or something, but anyway. The other one is I did have a call from a resident that just walked in our meeting here.
Mhm.
And their road from 180th up to Falcon, they have taken and spent quite a bit of, put a lot of their own rock on in the past years, and they was interested in doing it again. And I believe their statement to me was that they would be interested in determining whether the rock needs road, or road needs rocked. And then if it does, if the county would be interested in taking and, we've got a cost for that. They would be interested in paying the difference between limestone on their road and the hard rock. They would pay that difference if the county would do that. So, it's not free gratis or nothing like that. It's just if the road needs rocked, then there'd be a determined cost. And so, after I received that phone call, I called you and asked what hard rock was available. And the hard rock that we have available through Florence is the same that was put on, has a lot of fines in it. It's not the Ottawa rock or nothing like that. It has the stuff that we've got a stockpile down there that we're gonna go through and put it on our roads. But-
Right, eventually. We have to be pretty choosy with that.
My concern when I told them on the phone was that, number one, I didn't know your schedule for trucking. That was one. And so that's where I think I left it with them, is that, so.
And that ties in real good with, excuse me, fighting a bad cold, with what Steve was saying about hiring some contract hauling. We have got a person that will deliver this rock for us this week and spread it. So that hauling is not an issue. We can get that done. It's just, and the figures he gave me, the hard, clean rock from Waverly, and if he hauls it and spreads it, it's gonna cost about twice what your white rock from Florence would cost if you guys hauled it, or if he hauled it, delivered and put on our road. And we are more than willing to pay the difference, because we've proven that the clean blue rock will last 3 times as long. And if it's just twice as high, that's a no-brainer.
I think my other question that I asked her said that my other concern was how much how do we bill it, who would do that, who would do the billing of that, and what kind of cost does it take for us to do something with this, track all this and keep track of that?
Well, if a contractor was to do it, we'd have to find out the amount of tons that was delivered by that contractor, or what was issued as like a PO for that particular road. And we'd have to find out the price difference between the two.
Okay.
But if they're paying for the whole thing, we'd have to pay half of that because of our normal price for our rock, as far as our limestone rock.
So that's an easy way to put it to the commission. I guess, is whether, and we're setting policies now. I mean, it's not just one person. We would do it for, I think, other people if that's what this commission wants to do. So, the good points to that is number one, well, I think I talked about some other things with Linda, was that we do have to have a good base to put that rock on. If we don't have a good basis, we don't put it on. But number two is that, how do we go about it? And so, and whether the commission so seeks forth to this. to
Well, I
do
also
something
think
like
it'd be a lot cheaper if the county hauled it versus the contractor hauling it. I mean, so at this situation, you're having a contractor deliver it and they're paying for the materials as well. We're gonna pay half of that, so we're gonna be paying for half of a contractor to deliver the material. Does that make sense? Am I making sense?
Yeah, because we're gonna spend half of that cost for us to do it.
Right.
Okay?
But this contractor, he's got a truck that will spread it. We won't have to, there'll be no grader involved. But we just assume keep the graders off because the graders keep flattening the road out instead of leaving a crown.
Okay, let me ask you this, Waverly Rock, where are you planning on receiving that or getting it from?
From Waverly.
From Waverly. And it'll be just a clean rock?
Mhm.
Okay.
That's what we put on 7 years ago.
And we paid the whole cost then.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't even ask, we knew that white rock wouldn't hold up.
So how many loads are you talking about? How much money?
Well, it's just about what, 3/10 of a mile approximately to
Yeah.
your guys' place for the
He
intersection?
thought two of his, about, I think, about 50 ton.
50 tons.
What kind of cost is that looking at?
What's that?
What kind of cost are we looking at for 50 ton?
How much a ton?
36, it would cost us $36 a ton.
Delivered.
Delivered and spread. Yeah. And so half of that would be 18.
18.
And we're very willing to pay the cost up front and then just reimburse us. So you wouldn't have to worry about going through all of the,
You wouldn't have to bill us or bill
Yeah.
him or.
Got a
worry
question.
about-
Now, we did something like this. The landowner would have to get Steve's permission before they'd haul rock. Because we can't just let everybody go out and get rock.
Correct.
I mean, it'd have to be a system. You have to ask permission.
right.
Correct.
I believe we do have a
Yeah.
policy like that.
Should be,
Okay.
yes.
Such that I'd like to give our counselor a chance to.
Pull the policy, because I don't remember exactly how we wrote that.
And
But yeah,
then-
we did that for that very reason.
And then a while back, it's probably been about a month ago, we kind of tabled the discussion about rocking dirt roads. Is this gonna lead into that too, or what are we doing with that as well? I mean,
I would say no.
It'd almost have to be a separate policy, because the dirt
That'd be a
road,
separate
you're
one,
gonna
yes.
have to rebuild
I'd take more rock.
and do it, to me,
Usually
split
the,
base.
the rock on the dirt roads is somebody's got some type of business down there. They don't live there, but they have some kind of business, feedlot. That's the one I'm thinking about right now.
Yeah, we've got a lot of them.
And, you know, especially if it sometime in the past had been done.
And I think number one right here is we're talking about a residence.
True.
Right now.
Yeah.
Right.
We're not on anything else but a residence and doing this for a residence. Okay.
Plus, I run a business out of there. I've got to get in and out
Yeah.
with my stock trailer every day.
And it's got a base. It's got a
it's
base.
it's a good shape road.
Yes.
It's got good drainage.
And we're
too.
trying to
Yep.
keep it that way, so.
Years ago, we had a quarter-mile rock there on Bison, no, not Bison, a mile past that on the curve. And the agreement then with the county was if we rocked it that first time, the
With a
county would
base. Yep.
keep it rocked. So that didn't happen.
That was not policy, I guess.
Ryan finally had to go ahead and rock it again this fall.
Well, you know, and, you know, like if you hire somebody to haul it, does their insurance cover them on a county road?
I don't think so.
Be about the same as if you're gonna get contractors and haul. I mean, do they
they have to have so much insurance when we contract with them.
Sure.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I would think that.
You know, just every insurance
Right.
company's different, and you know, if somebody got out there and spreading something, wrecked something, then their insurance company says, we don't cover you, that's on you. But
Right.
I don't know.
Well, when we rocked that road 7 years ago, the only problem anybody had driving that road was when they got past our rock and onto the dirt road. And then they wanted us to come pull them out.
Well, at that cost, what do we pay for our limestone to be delivered per mile? Then it depends on what part of the county you're in. I mean, 'cause you gotta figure fuel and rock cost to get to wherever we go. I mean, that side of the county, if it's out of Florence, it's closer, cheaper than that side of the county. So are we in the $18 a ton delivered out?
He said that's what it would cost to have him deliver the white rock from Florence. It would be $18.
So we compared it.
No.
And I don't know
Exactly,
what.
exactly twice as much.
Probably, most of that was probably free.
Oh, yeah, oh, absolutely, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I think, don't quote me on this, I can't remember the price, but I think it's like 1042
A ton
a
for-
ton.
for limestone.
For limestone, SS block,
Okay.
if I remember right.
Okay.
What's the price on the limestone?
1042 a ton. Does that sound about
Yes.
right? I shouldn't even say anything, I don't know for sure, to be exact.
But
We weren't gonna quote you.
All right.
But, I mean, to me, that's what I gotta look at is if we're gonna spend $10, $12 just for the rock a ton, I've got a fuel expense. I don't
You've
know.
got no greater expense. You've got no greater expense on that.
No, I'm
road.
just looking at rock cost and truck cost.
Right.
That's what I'm looking at, so. I mean, it's pretty close. I'm not saying it's exactly cheaper, but I'm saying it's pretty close.
Well, we paid it all last time.
Well, and that's,
We have to.
I know that for a fact, because I've seen it,
Yeah.
but,
Is the rock that's stockpiled down at Florence, is that the same that we put on, you know, when we did those test sections? That's the very same?
Yeah.
Was it clean?
That was another point that I wanted to bring up.
I don't know if
A
that's.
lot of those,
That wherever the rock's cleaned, is it?
The one down there is not, it's got a
No,
lot of
say
fines
it's
in
not.
it. In fact,
They crumble
I've
down
talked
down.
with Harshman's about possibly getting some that's a lot
I
cleaner.
mean, I wouldn't want us to ever cover
Rock at
up
Florence.
that hard rock that we
It's
put
got
down
screening.
with the old white rock again.
The way we walk.
I mean, we got it to the point where it was good and base, the one that I'm thinking of that was west of me, that thing used to just fall apart. And after we did that, it held up good for, well, I don't know, they may have put a little bit more on there, I'm not sure, on 290th West.
the biggest problem was getting it out of the truck when it come out there, it's when we put it over on Falcon in that area.
But it was really wet.
Yeah, it was wet stuff then, yeah. So, I think we've got one commissioner that's not here today that is, that's Jonah, and I think he's pretty adamant about white rock and hard rock stuff. So, is there any part of our policy that we're violating, Brad, if you can remember?
I'm still trying to think through that in terms of how we do it, and it's specific to each case, what, but there's some general application to that policy. I need to look at it to be absolutely sure. I have a number of questions, let's put it that way.
Okay. Is there any other comments by any commissioners, I mean, about doing it?
It just seems like it always comes down to a liability issue, but yet, in the time I've been here, I haven't seen there be that problem, but that's the perception, is that we've got this big liability out there when people are spreading rock. Well, they've been spreading rock for the last 100 years, as far as I know.
But yet we're gonna hire contractors to come in, and this, I don't know whether this person would have to sign a contractor's agreement with us or something to that effect?
Either that or some form of indemnification. There's several things.
Whatever they've done in the past.
I think the positive part about this person, he's done it before. He did a beautiful job. He just laid it right on that road. There weren't big clumps, you know, so that no one had to come back in. So,
I know someone with a skid steer that I saw cleaning the ditches out right down at the bottom probably take care of the humps if there was some, so. But I just,
Who was this contractor who did last time, you know?
Jeff Ratzel.
Ratzlaw? I say contracted with
It
Grant
wasn't
County.
Jeff.
Once I was wondering,
Yes.
He had a driver that did it for him, did it.
You brought me home for us before.
yeah, I think he has hauled for you.
Yeah.
So it's not like a private,
Right.
it's somebody that, yeah, and he does excellent work,
Yeah.
absolutely excellent work.
Well, if nobody has any other, I mean, Chairman, are you, what's your feelings here of whether we do it for this? I mean, they're doing what they're supposed to. They're coming in, they're not sending us a bill like other people has after it's already on. They're doing the proper steps here, so.
They probably wanna do it this week while it's drying.
Well, yeah, that's.
Actually, we don't wanna do it when it's dry, we wanna do it when the ground is a little soft, and then you can push that rock down in that.
Then
and
it
get
stays.
It's a good base, so, that's what we wanna do, so.
Well, guys, one thing I would like to see is some kind of policy that we
Yes.
can go by,
Yes.
because to me, there's a lot of gray area here. Okay, yeah, we allow them to do it, but then all of a sudden, someone comes along and there's some gray area there, and I don't have to keep coming back to you guys each time and say, hey, now, wait a minute here, you know.
Well, then I can handle that real easy, Steve.
Yeah.
I can put it on your shoulders. I can say.
Okay, well, that's fine.
I can say,
mean,
if it's approved by you, if that road's not approved by you to do that, then it's not gonna go on. I
Right.
mean, that's easy enough for me to do.
Okay.
Well, and if
I think if a constituent comes in and says, we want hard rock on our road and needs it, and we're willing to pay half, man, that's helping us down the road.
absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
It really is.
And I do 100% agree with you that for that gray area, that you have to have it approved by you.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I think when I talked to Randy, I said, that's how it should be done, is it should be approved and not sent the bill afterwards. It has to be approved by you.
Well, when we
Randy
did
can
it the
approve
first time,
No, I'm not worth a hoot, but I can pass it off to that guy right now until later. Then when we have administrator, I will pass it to the administrator to do that.
we tried that with the last guy,
Just
didn't we?
make sure,
Okay, yeah.
just make sure he's the one that answers your phone.
I don't
You know
even
what
have-
your title is?
Yeah. just
Okay,
make sure he
when he's
answers
gone, you get that call.
I don't even have an issue, if somebody wants to buy some rock to get to their feedlot or their grain bin or something, if they're willing to pay for all that, I don't have a problem with hauling some.
And the better rock we have on our roads, the better off we are. I mean, so,
Just another mile of dirt that's covered up.
I just didn't want 2
But then
hours.
but then in the past, we've had the, well, this is what I understand policy is on the dirt road. If someone initially pays for the rock that gets laid on the road first, then after that, the county is responsible of maintaining that road and rocking it thereafter.
No.
That's what we were told.
Not unless there's
Yeah.
a house on it.
That's when they do a new house.
The house, some people leave it off, well, and I don't know
I
about
understand the
dirt.
house situation of
Yeah,
residents,
the
but
house.
when you're talking about like an oil
You
field.
know, the
or
individual I
something-
talked to said, I just told him, you know, if we can get this done in 2 or 3 years, you need rock, we just have to do it the same way.
Well, that would be fine with me, if each time they want rock, they pay for it
No,
themselves.
I don't see us maintaining it unless it's a, like, harvest situation or something. Cause we do hit some of these back roads at harvest time that maybe only get hit once or twice a year.
Okay, but.
Just so you can get a semi down it.
Yeah, and I understand that, but then again, now we've allowed people in the past to do that, to pay for the initial rock that was laid, and then after a few years, when they needed a rock, we came in there and rocked it at our cost. Are we gonna grandfather those people in now, or are we just gonna allow from now on, if you guys want rock on a non-residential road for a business or a dirt road or some kind of like that, you have to pay for the rock.
Right.
Okay, now, are we paying for just the rock, or are we paying for a contractor to haul it too? Are we paying with just the county hauling it? There's a lot of variables there. See, that's what I'm saying, there's some.
Kind of depends on how much it's gonna be, I suppose. If it's only a couple of roads that we could, something that wouldn't slow us down, but if it's something that's gonna take.
On a dirt road, it's gonna take about 400 tons to the mile.
Yeah.
And that would probably be the base rock, 2-inch rock.
Probably,
first.
yeah.
And then if they want anything else on top of that, like a surface rock, then you're gonna go to your SS5, and that could be anywhere from 200 to 300 tons per mile on that.
I'm gonna try to bring the discussion back to one topic. Today, we're talking about adding rock to a residential road.
That's correct.
I am very, very concerned about the dirt road and adding rock. I think that is gonna be a very lengthy discussion. I'm gonna ask that we separate that out.
Okay.
For a longer discussion.
Right.
But for today, I think we can probably come to a conclusion on the request in front of us without opening too big of a can of worms, because the dirt road one is,
That's
gonna be.
that's a separate issue.
It is, it's a big issue, and I do not downplay it. It is a very important issue. But I think that one's gonna take us more time to work through, and I see the councilor nodding to that one.
Okay.
But I do think we can come to a solution to the request today.
Van, did you say 50 ton?
Approximately.
50
2
ton
loads.
at $18 a load, $900.
Yeah. And I would request that we limit that to residential.
Yes.
It's 2 loads.
No, that's 50 ton, that's 2 loads. That's the 2 loads.
Right,
Yeah.
he was talking 36, 18 would be our share.
Yeah, $18 a share.
Yeah. But I think by doing that, we can keep the floodgates from completely opening.
Just throw out another situation though. Tomorrow they hear this,
Yep.
this through the
Yep.
week, and
Yep.
and somebody else has got 3/4 of a mile,
Yep.
and it goes up to I don't know
Well,
what.
3 times that amount.
Steve-
They're a
Steve,
quarter,
Three times,
3 times the
yeah,
amount.
3 times that amount, 2,700.
Yep.
It's got to be approved.
Yep.
The road condition has to prove it.
Yep.
I sent Steve over, I said, he asked me what part of the county he was, and when I talked to him last week, right after Linda's call, he was over close to them part of the county, so he stopped and looked at it. And that's why I say, I can let, he's the guy that looks at it, not us. I mean, he's the one that decides whether it needs it or not, and so,
And I can guarantee if that is approved today, Kent and I both know one of a mile and a quarter that'll be in as soon as possible to make that same request. But if that's the policy and it's a benefit, so be it.
Now, I would want to make clear that while he's doing this, we're gonna have him bring a load to our yard too.
And that will be our
That's a
cost.
separate deal. That's, I don't want people thinking that the county's paying for half of that.
And it would have to,
Or we're gonna have the hallway full, we're gonna be falling down.
am I gonna have to come over and watch the
They'll
trucks?
really be calling us in.
Well, and it's a good point, because we're looking at 900 here, but a mile and a quarter, you're looking at 3 times, so you're looking at 3,000 to 3,500, you know, something like that.
But again, if it's a benefit,
If we got the budget.
And if we got the budget, I mean, that's it. I
And you're
mean,
putting better rock on.
In the
Yeah.
long run, I think it saved the county money.
if you haven't had rock on there since we put it on there quite a few years ago, then it's well worth what it's been, but, I
And
think.
it hasn't been graded.
I think
mean,
the-
it's been graded, I think, once.
Policy says though that if we do it, and we do it like this, people has to come in and get approved, he has to approve of it, and then we go to, from that stage, whether we got the money. And he knows where our budget, or should know where our budget is, and now, we probably will have to start White Rock budget somewhere, I would think. Whether, you know, how many dollars we gonna spend on Hard Rock, that's.
any words of warning, Counselor?
I'm still looking for.
Okay, you're, sorry.
Rest of that.
Okay. But I'm starting to sense a consensus.
Yeah, I'm not saying no to that. I think
think with enough restrictions that we know we're not opening it wide open.
Yeah, I don't think we can. I mean, I don't think this county's got enough money to say
No.
every road's gonna have white rock on it.
Don't have enough trucks.
We don't have enough trucks too, but and I think Linda has spent a lot of time, as you all know, maybe before you guys got on, putting a lot of things together on rock price with our previous commissioner and stuff, and so she did a lot of work that way, but I think she knows what we're facing about putting white rock on all the whole county until we get a base, and then I think Jonah's more apt to say, let's spend some more money on rock than rest, from what I've heard from him.
Could I ask Steve a question?
Sure.
How close is that $18 to what it would cost the county to haul white rock over there and spread it and grade it?
It'd be right on
About that amount.
about that amount, yeah.
Pretty close, yeah.
That's what I thought.
I think we've talked.
And you're getting a better product.
Right.
Ever since we put that hard rock down, our consensus was that we were gonna try to add a little bit to that.
Yeah.
Whenever was possible, a few miles.
Yes.
You know, maybe, and like I said, over the course of a decade, we've got somewhere.
Well, Steve, what do you want from us? Do you want us to make a motion to grant this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please. I think it's a good deal.
I'd make a motion that we try with Linda and Van Peters to split the cost of, at $36 a ton, 50 tons, our cost would be $18 a ton for that, for them to have it delivered on 180th from Falcon to just past their driveway, so that they can get in their driveway out and out of their driveway. That's my motion.
Second.
Okay, we have the motion from Commissioner Dalkey. Do you want me to repeat it? Okay, second by Commissioner Becker. All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Motion carried 4-0.
Okay.
May I ask, do you want us to pay the bill? And then submit the bill, have it to you guys?
Yeah, I would go ahead and get the overall invoice for the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then bring a copy of that, and then we'll pay for half of that, that
Yeah,
bill.
we'll be glad to
A lot
do that.
easier to do it that way.
We'll go ahead and pay
We'll
Jeff.
need a W-9 for you.
Oh, what?
We'll have to be able to set you up as a vendor, so we'll need you to fill out a paper.
Okay, sure.
Tom's got something to talk to you guys.
Okay.
Unless you got anything more to me?
Did you look at that Vance Brothers invoice I sent you for the microsurfacing?
Yes, I did, and it's fine. Yeah. Okay. All I'm after is I would like to go after some bids for about 3 chainsaws, a chop saw, and I think how about another weed eater too?
Why don't you have them already?
Huh?
Why don't you have them
I
already?
did tell him.
Oh. It's needed.
Well, I know, yeah, we got one section man that doesn't have a saw, and I know we got a pile of junkers up there, so we've been robbing pieces, so.
And you got money in the budget?
Yes, ma'am, I checked with them.
You checked with her?
Yes, we did. We had a big sit down. She's already got me lined up for next year.
As long as you buy it local.
Oh,
Yeah.
the bills for next year? You're not
Yeah.
buying it on this year?
No. But anyway, that's all I wanted. If I can go have them back here probably next Monday, I'd probably have them, if that works for you guys.
Any opposition?
Next
Say
Monday,
board-
next Monday or the 18th, I don't care.
Board consensus?
11th will work.
Yep.
Okay.
He does have all the equipment lined up for Purple Wave too.
Yeah, they were here last Tuesday.
Okay.
That's it. And a thank you to Brad. The city of Bentley contacted me on the crack sealing machine that you passed on that one.
Yeah, they went interested. I called right away as soon as I left.
What was the commission again?
It was,
Yeah.
you know, you'd think I should, but no, there's nothing.
Finder's fee?
The day after I talked to you, the city of Bentley's calling me.
Cool.
And he's pretty proud.
Brad had passed it on.
They really need one.
Yeah.
Good. Found a good one then.
Okay, that's all I had.
Thank you,
Anything
Tom.
for me?
You have questions?
An answer to me.
All right.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Oh, wait a second.
Ready?
Yeah.
Thank you, Steve. Okay, we have the invoice from Vance Brothers, which is in your packet. Group for 23 miles, microsurfacing at $63,000 per mile, and they're subtracting off the stockpile material, which will be used next year. So the total of the invoice, $1,219,110.05. Is there a motion to approve? Or are there questions?
My question
Sure.
is this stockpile for this job, or is it stockpile for next year, like you said?
For next
We
year.
stockpiled for multiple jobs, and they didn't get to all of them,
Right.
so then the remainder will be done next year.
Okay. But we've received all of this material.
We received the material that we paid for in stockpile.
Okay. Okay. I don't want to see next year, see another bill is what I'm trying to follow.
There will be a bill next year for the work.
For the microsurfacing.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if we need additional materials, it's beyond what we.
Okay. You got it, under control. Thank you.
I think, yeah.
Okay, good enough. No, I'd make that motion to pay
Okay.
the $1,449,000.
Nope. No.
$1,219,110.05 for that, because the $229,000 has been subtracted. Okay.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Dalkey, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second, Commissioner Crowfoot, discussion or questions? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried 4-0.
All right, thank you.
Do you need a signature to bother?
Is there? Yes.
Marcy,
Good afternoon.
you have good news for us.
Yes, Tina, is this in our packet?
I put the award letter, I think, in
Okay.
there.
Yeah.
Yes.
You had given me permission to apply for, emergency management performance grant, that helps supplement the salary of the emergency manager for the county. We did meet all the requirements, so we received an award letter. It looks like they did raise our amount that we're eligible for next year, and it is $24,474. So I wanted to, come and let you guys know that we did receive that grant. I don't know if there's anything we have to do in order to accept it. But at this point in time, we did meet all the requirements, so we are slated to get a check.
Excellent.
Just to comply with our grant policy, it would be good for the board to have a motion and a second and a vote to accept the award.
Any questions for Marcy on the grant?
That's gonna be for equipment or furniture or whatever?
No. The emergency management performance grant is money that there's a lot of requirements, but if I meet all those requirements, it's money we get from the federal government and the state to supplement my salary.
So it reimburses the county.
Yes.
For Marcy.
So it's what you've already paid me, you get money back. You
And
get a
then that
rebate
can-
on my salary.
And then that can free up money for other things that we need to do in the department or for.
Need that for every department.
I know. I don't think everyone meets all
This
those
is money
standards.
you've already spent, you just get a rebate.
For 2023?
Yes, sir.
I'd make a motion to accept the emergency management performance grant in the amount of $24,474.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Becker, is there a second?
I'll second that.
Second, Commissioner Crowfoot, questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Motion carried 4-0.
Okay, the second order of business, I was looking at my budget before the end of the year, and I have money in my capital outlay that, I was wondering if I could purchase some tables and chairs for the conference room in the new building that was not in the original, building. If one of the things that we mentioned is furnishings, we try to do out of individual budgets if we could swing it. I do have money that I can do that before the end of the year. And, is this part in their packets too?
No,
Okay.
I don't know if I have it. I probably did, but I
No, that's
don't
okay.
remember seeing it.
This is some information. I put in there the tables and the chairs, and the second page shows some of the different prices. The reason why I'm bringing it to you now is because right now, the tables are $40 off a piece. And I don't know if it's a Christmas special or what, but, that is the cheapest I've seen these price on these tables. You'll notice that the first page shows the tables and chairs, the amounts that we would like to get. We'd like to get 14 tables and 11 chairs. These are not, you'll notice, these are not fancy schmancy tables and chairs. The reason why we went with this route is we want to make that room as flexible as possible for the different meetings we could have in there. Whether it's planning and zoning, whether it's the local emergency planning committee, whether it's emergency response leadership board, whether it's training for staff. Like for example, we have law enforcement trainings throughout the year that they need credit hours for, things along those lines. We want to be able to move that room and adapt to what the class or the meeting might be. So we were looking at, I know I'm cheap, but trust me, the plastic tables are the best option, rather than going with something hard surface like this. They're easy to move. Anybody can rearrange the room. The tables and the chairs, if you look on the next page, you'll see that I priced out the tables. Quill and Walmart and Sam's Club. I do have a Sam's Club account for emergency management that I could purchase it through, but you'll notice that that cart is also above the limit I'm allowed to spend. So there's kind of two permissions that I'm asking in one almost.
You can only spend $2,000.
I can only spend 1,000, I believe, is the current policy. So I was wondering if I can go ahead, and if you just want me to get the tables now, that's fine. The chairs are the price that they've always been, but I thought $40 off a table was a pretty nice chunk of money. So I was listening to Kent when he said, make it cheap.
I appreciate this coming to us. She could take it on her card and go make it $999 like something other times has been done. And I'm glad it's not done that way, but if we told her to go do that way, then it's told from us, and everybody knows what's going on, and she could do it that way. So that's just my 2 cents worth, and thank you for bringing it forward, because that's not behind her back.
So you're saying buy everything or just buy half of it?
No, I'm saying she could do it the same day in two different accounts, 2 different
Yeah,
cards.
I could
I don't
have
know
done
if the
it.
cards fit that way.
I could have done it. It didn't feel right, so I didn't do this. But that is true. The limit is $1,000. I could have bought $999 worth, and I, could have done it that way and done several. I would like to do it all at once and be upfront and what it's for and why we're doing it and why I brought it to you now rather than wait till the building's done.
Save gas, back twice.
Well, yeah, because I've been checking these prices, trying to find things for the building, and since we're coming to the end of 2023 and I have money in there, it would not come out of any budget but mine. My capital outlay would come out of emergency management, so. And then I would, according to the way that the inventory went, those would then be on the emergency management's inventory, and I would take care of those throughout. But it would be for county use. It wouldn't be an EM thing in storage somewhere. So.
What happens though if Road and Bridge Departments wants to come and borrow 14 tables or 10 tables or whatever?
It's county property. They can.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking. I think it's, as long as it's a county government function, I have no problem with it. But
and it's county money, so.
Yeah, it's county money.
I understand it's coming out of the EM, that particular line item, but I'm hoping that conference room is gonna be used for so much stuff, and maybe Tina can have clerks meetings over there. So, yes.
I don't know where you got those black tables downstairs. They look very nice.
They are nice.
Yeah.
I don't remember. It was a place like Sam's or something. I
Very
don't
nice,
remember. It might have been Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah, no, very nice and handy to use.
So when's the building gonna be done?
From what we hear, February, end of February, but, not for sure, so. I have pictures of what it looks like, if you want to see with it, all the walls torn down.
Oh, I looked at that. I saw-
Okay, I did go over and
Very
see
nice.
pictures of that.
Yeah.
Before we go into that, let's wrap up the purchase of the tables and chairs. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve the purchase, however she can do it, whether Tina wants her to do it all on one check, or give her a check, or whether she uses her credit card, which don't make no difference to me.
Okay, we have a motion for the approval of the 11 chairs, 14 tables, out of $2,089.50. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Becker. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried 4-0.
Hey, would anybody like to see pictures? I've got them on my phone, otherwise stop by. I'm at the health department, just a reminder today, because Department of Homeland Security is out there for a physical security assessment. So, that's it. Any other questions?
Pictures of the building, you mean?
Yes.
Oh,
The inside, it's all gutted and
Oh, yeah,
all the
yeah.
drywall's gone, and they have
Yeah.
redone, they've cut the concrete because they had to, move the water,
Plumbing.
the plumbing, yes, so. And I found out how much I don't know about building things, so thank goodness Sharon's on this project too. So,
good deal.
Not your wheelhouse, huh?
no, sir, give me a plan, I'll be happy to write it, but don't know anything about cutting concrete, so.
That's why it's good there's 3 of you involved.
Yes, yes, that is fantastic.
And keep up the good work. We're looking for grants. Keep your eyes open. Appreciate it.
Yes. All right, thank you.
Thank you, Marcy. All right, Brad, did you have anything you wanted to tackle today, or?
No, we'll just do it all in one fell swoop.
Okay, any updates on anything? Probably not. All right, and executive session is requested on preliminary property acquisition. How long would you like? 15?
Yeah, 15.
I move that we recess to executive session in order to discuss preliminary property acquisition pursuant to KSA 75-4319B. Item 6, preliminary discussion of acquisition of real estate. Commission Brad and Tina, 15 minutes. I'm gonna say 150 to 205.
Yep, there you go. His math is good today.
Good, even numbers.
Yeah.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Galkey. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Motion carried 4-0. We will be back at
Two minutes, Marcy,
2:05.
I guess, for each of these for equipment.
This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, we are out of executive session. No decisions made. That completes the formal agenda. Was there any other business by the commission? Any commission comments?
I'd like to, next week on the agenda, kind of touch base on this late rent one more time.
Okay.
I just think you mailed out the
Yeah.
letter or notice of increase.
Well, I just for a 5-minute discussion.
Okay, we will add that to next week's agenda. Anything else? If not, I move to adjourn. Second. Second by Commissioner Galkey. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion carried 4-0. We are adjourned.